An extraordinarily handsome man decides he has the God-given responsibility to marry the perfect woman so they can produce children beyond comparison. With that as his mission, he begins searching for the perfect woman. After a diligent but fruitless search up and down the East Coast, he starts to head west. Shortly thereafter, he meets a farmer who has 3 stunning, gorgeous daughters that positively take his breath away. So he explains his mission to the farmer, asking for permission to marry one of them. The farmer simply replies,
"They're all looking to get married, so you came to the right place. Look them over and select the one you want."
So the man dates the first daughter. The next day, the farmer asks for the man's opinion.
"Well," says the man, "she's just a wee bit, not that you can hardly notice, but pigeon-toed."
The farmer nods and suggests the man date one of the other girls. So the man goes out with the second daughter. The next day, the farmer again asks how things went.
"Well,"
the man replies,
"she's just a wee bit, not that you can hardly tell, cross-eyed."
The farmer nods and suggests he dates the third girl to see if things might be better. So he does. The next morning, the man rushes in exclaiming,
"She's perfect, just perfect. She's the one I want to marry."
So they're wed right away. Months later, the baby is born. When the man visits the nursery, he's horrified. The baby has the ugliest face he has ever seen. He rushes to his father-in-law asking how such a thing could happen considering the parents.
"Well,"
explains the farmer,
"she was just a wee bit, not that you could hardly tell, pregnant when you met her."
The boss of a large company needed to call one of his employees about an urgent problem with one of the main computers. He dialed the employee's home phone number and was greeted with a child's whisper.
"Hello?"
Feeling put out at the inconvenience of having to talk to a youngster, the boss asked.
"Is your daddy home?"
"Yes."
whispered the small voice.
"May I speak with him?"
the man asked. To his surprise, the small voice whispered.
"No."
Wanting to talk with an adult, the boss asked.
"Is your mommy there?"
"Yes."
came the answer.
"May I talk with her?"
asked the boss. Again, the small voice whispered.
"No."
Knowing that it was not likely that a young child would be left home alone, the boss decided he would just leave a message with the person who should be there watching over the child.
"Is there anyone there besides you?"
the boss asked the child.
"Yes."
whispered the child.
"A policeman."
Wondering what a police officer would be doing at his employee's home, the boss asked.
"May I speak with the policeman?"
"No, he's busy."
whispered the child.
"Busy doing what?"
asked the boss.
"Talking to Daddy and Mommy and the fireman."
came the whispered answer. Growing concerned and even worried as he heard what sounded like a helicopter through the earpiece of the phone, the boss asked.
"What is that noise?"
"A helicopter."
answered the whispering voice.
"What is going on there?"
asked the boss, now alarmed. In an odd whispering voice, the child answered.
"The search team just landed the helicopter."
Alarmed, concerned, and more than just a little frustrated, the boss asked.
"Why are they there?"
Still whispering, the young voice replied with a muffled giggle.
"They're looking for me."
A doctor puts up a sign in front of his clinic. The sign reads, "If I can cure you, I get $20. If I can't cure you, I'll pay you $100. A lawyer decides that it's his time to shine, so he tells the doctor,
"Doctor, I can't taste anything anymore. Please cure me."
The doctor tells his nurse to get him some of the medicine from drawer number 25. The lawyer takes a swig, gasps, and spits it out. The lawyer says,
"This tastes like gasoline."
"Taste cured. $20, please,"
says the doctor. The lawyer pays and leaves, frustrated. The lawyer comes back the next day, determined to succeed.
"Doctor, please cure my memory loss."
"Nurse, please fetch some of the medicine from drawer number 25.
"No way!"
the lawyer exclaims.
"That's the same thing you gave me last time."
"Memory fixed. $20, please,"
says the doctor. The lawyer stomps away, displeased. The next day, the lawyer comes up with a foolproof strategy.
"Doctor, I'm blind. Cure me, please."
"Oh, I'm sorry. I won't be able to cure that,"
says the doctor.
Here's your $100.
He says, handing the lawyer a $5 bill.
Wait a second.
Shouts the lawyer.
This is 5, not 100.
Blindness cured. $20, please.
A blonde lady motorist was about 2 hours from San Diego when she was flagged down by a man whose truck had broken down. The man walked up to the car and asked,
Are you going to San Diego?
Sure.
answered the blonde.
Do you need a lift?
Not for me. I'll be spending the next 3 hours fixing my truck. My problem is I've got 2 chimpanzees in the back that have to be taken to the San Diego Zoo. They're a bit stressed already, so I don't want to keep them on the road all day. Could you possibly take them to the zoo for me? I'll give you $100 for your trouble.
I'd be happy to.
Said the blonde. So, the 2 chimpanzees were ushered into the back seat of the blonde's car and carefully strapped into their seats, and off they went. 5 hours later, the truck driver was driving through the heart of San Diego when suddenly he was horrified. There was the blonde walking down the street holding hands with the 2 chimps, much to the amusement of a big crowd. With a screech of his brakes, he pulled off the road and ran over to the blonde.
What are you doing here?
He demanded.
I gave you $100 to take these chimpanzees to the zoo.
Yeah, I know you did.
Said the blonde.
But we had money left over, so now we're going to SeaWorld.
A reporter learns of a woman who receives the highest welfare payments in town, and he is curious as to why. So he goes to the woman's house to interview her. After arriving at her house, he knocks on her door and a beautiful young woman answers. The reporter introduces himself, then asks,
How old are you, ma'am?
27,
she replies.
And how many children do you have?
He continues.
10.
She replies.
Wow, okay, that explains a lot.
He says, taken aback.
And what are their names?
He asks.
Well, there's Bob, then there's Bob, 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 and of course Bob.
They're all named Bob?
He asks, even more bewildered.
What if you want them to come in from playing outside?
I just call Bob, and they all come running inside.
She explains.
And if you want them to come to the table for dinner?
He asks.
I just say, Bob, come eat your dinner. And they do.
She answers.
But what if you want just one of them to do something?
He asks.
Oh, that's easy.
She replies.
I just use their last name.
A man sitting at a bar after work shares with the bartender the reason he is looking so stressed. I'm not sleeping well. I have nightmares about a monster under my bed and I'm too embarrassed to seek help. A patron nearby overhears this and introduces himself.
I overheard your story, and I am a psychiatrist. Maybe I can help. The first thing is you need to recognize these are only dreams. I should be able to help you in a few sessions. Here's my card. Give me a call.
A few weeks pass, and the same 2 are once again at the bar after work. The psychiatrist says to the other guy,
Hi, how are your nightmares? I never heard from you, so I hope you're doing okay.
The other guy says, Things are great. The bartender helped me. The psychiatrist replied,
You need a trained professional to help you. What possibly could a bartender do that a psychiatrist couldn't?
The other guy says, He told me to saw the legs off my bed.
My friends, if you want to watch other funny jokes, subscribe to the channel.